Chapter 19. The Door Between the Two Worlds. There is a door through which man passes almost constantly back and forth between the two realms, the spiritual and the mortal. The door has two sides, and these sides are as different as the realms into which they lead. The side of the door which opens from the mortal, physical existence is almost intangible. It is so delicately wrought. It is not discernible to the flesh senses at all. It becomes discernible only through comprehension, for it is spiritual. It is a door through which one steps into a higher vibratory field of realm of existence as spiritual thoughts and deep reverence fill his being. It could be called the door of prayer, but only when prayer is exalted into a triumphant song of praise and loving gratitude. As this type of prayer is developed, the pure Christ light is contacted and that door swings open. And though one may not be fully aware of it, he is in a higher vibratory state of existence. He has entered the realm of spirit. This chapter is written that man may comprehend fully the door by which he entered the higher realm, and that he may also learn to maintain his place there permanently, that he go no more out. This higher spiritual realm is the one in which all the divine powers of God are released into complete activity to fulfill the noble desires and aspirations of the soul. In order to comprehend the spiritual realm into which the door leads, it must first be necessary to reveal the door clearly, so that all who desire may enter. All who have been inspired by true devotion have stepped back and forth through the door. Without complete understanding, however, they invariably return to the lower vibrational plane of mortal existence. Those who now desire to comprehend that door will be able to look and behold it clearly. They can also have the power to lock the door behind them if they so desire, so that they never return to the grubby mortal vibrational realm. There is only one thing that must be definitely understood, and that is it is impossible to serve two masters or reside simultaneously within both realms. Those who reside in the higher vibrational realm of peace and achievement and divine glory must make the choice, and in so doing close the door behind them, so they will never more return to the mortal plane of outer darkness with its inherent evil, dismays, distress, suffering, and death. Man can, by his own understanding, not only close that door behind him, but he can lock it so securely no vibration of earth's negation and evil can possibly touch him. This can be accomplished as soon as man opens his eyes to behold the contrast between the material, mortal realm of evil and the wondrous glory of the realm of light. At first, one may enter the higher vibrational realm without realizing just how or even why it happened, and until he understands the difference between the two realms and is able to master the door, he usually fluctuates back and forth between the two kingdoms, for they are definite kingdoms. One is of joy and happiness, peace and power. The other is of fear, worry, distress, and darkness. It is quite possible for man to ascend into the realm of light on the wings of ecstasy and descend again into the realms of darkest mortal despondency without comprehending in the least what caused the transition. It is time man realized that the door belongs to himself. Its two sides are the two sides of his own nature, the spiritual and the physical. From the side of light, the door is camouflaged. It is an exit so subtly concealed, one scarcely realizes he has been drawn back through it until he finds himself sitting forlornly upon the grubby earth. Man does not realize that he himself opened that door and hence ejected himself back through the opening into a discordant world. One always leaves that higher realm where he may have gained entrance for a brief span through the opening of his old thought patterns of negation, fear, dislike, dismay, discordant or selfish thinking, his old worthless memories, and any type of mortal lust or perversion. It is impossible for these negative things or thoughts to remain upon the higher spiritual plane, and he who reaches back for such possessions will have to return to the realm in which he belongs. As one opens his mind to any of his habitual thought patterns of mortal concepts or earthly thinking, he will find himself back on the mortal plane of existence, and that exalted experience which lifted him triumphantly into the light becomes only a lingering memory. It may be quickly forgotten, and it is possible that realm may have been entered only once or twice in one's entire lifetime, depending on the individual and often on his devotional background. But whether a man is a great spiritual leader or just a common layman, he may fluctuate between these two realms without laying claim to the higher glory unless he fully comprehends the issues involved and becomes the master of that door. He may arise upon the clouds of joyous ecstasy and then again descend into the dark, desolate misery of the lower depths of despair. So it is that this door must be comprehended fully and mastered if one desires to remain permanently within the realm of light. This chapter has been written for those who desire to reach beyond drab, earthly, mortal living. To you I shall seek to reveal the door and show you how to seal it behind you as you step through it into the glory of eternal light. You must comprehend the reality of that door and open it knowingly and with complete awareness if you are to pass permanently into the higher realm. To you who can lift your vision and your desire to attain unto the heights, the drab existence of earthly vibrational decadence and darkness can become a forgotten state and be left behind as completely as one steps from his soiled, worn-out garments. To step through this door is every man's heritage, so it is that he who prays continually, without ceasing, becomes filled with light and comprehends all things. For he is no longer abiding in the darkness, but is abiding in the light. And so it is that he who is thankful in all things shall be made glorious, for he has evolved into the vibrational realm of glory in the darkness of earth is left behind. This door, which is the entrance into the higher vibrational realm of light, is the front door into the other world. It is the door that bypasses the back door of death, and you, blessed one, have stepped across the threshold many times during your sojourn on earth, have returned to abide upon the mortal plane simply because you did not know how to hold your place in the realm of light. It is now time that you understand so you may fully comprehend the door and the two realms it links together. This is the door at which Christ is knocking, and you must open the door knowingly and with complete understanding. As you open it with full awareness, you will have achieved the status of what you are intended to become, and you will have the power to remain within the realm of light if it so be you choose. And you will choose to remain permanently in the higher vibrational plane of spiritual advancement, for the change is an extreme and a joy as great as greater than that experienced by a blind man who suddenly receives his sight. The old world of darkness is left behind, and henceforth you will abide in the world of eternal light. It is true that one may travel back and forth many times until he advances far enough to comprehend fully that door and realizes he has a key to it. It is as he uses that key to lock the door behind him that secures his position in the higher realms. Christ said, I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pastures. John 10:9. As the light of Christ is first contacted, one gains entrance into the higher realm and is saved or salvaged. He can also go in and out and find his moments or periods of spiritual pasturing, but after he comprehends fully, he passes beyond the condition of being merely saved. He becomes exalted, elevated into a higher condition. Such a one need no longer go in and out. He may remain permanently. Him that overcometh that door will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of the heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name. Revelations 3:12. That door is as real as any door in existence. It is intangible to the physical senses because it is spiritual. It is a door in consciousness. In the instant you comprehend the door and exert your ability to open it by your own power of higher thinking, your transition is established. That door is but the opening of your own being to the glory of the great Christ light, through love, praise, and singing gratitude, the greatest attitude. The divine inner song of loving adoration opens a door into the higher vibrational realm of existence. To become established permanently in the higher realm and to hold your place in it requires only that as you enter into that realm, you close the door behind you. You must close it against every mortal thought and every earthly concept and every shadow of negation and doubt. It is your privilege to step out fearlessly into the light and to remain in the divine higher vibrational plane permanently. As you do so, you are treading the glorified road Christ traveled, the road of eternal life. In order to step through that door and to hold your place in the realms of light, it is only necessary to lift your own vibration. The law of eternity and of existence is that all things must abide within the vibrational sphere of their own degree of development. Any person who can lift himself into a higher thought vibration must step into the higher vibrational level of his own thought action. Man alone is given the power so to exist and exalt his own vibration through higher thought action, so he can be lifted into continually higher vibrational levels of spiritual advancement. This is quite possible even while he is still clothed in flesh. In fact, his own flesh, when lifted by the spiritual vibrations of glory, can exalt him more completely and more speedily than any other condition in existence possibly could. If man can lift his flesh in this exalting way into a spiritual texture, he has achieved the great step, has entered through that great front door into the realm of glory without needing to die. This transition is most easily achieved by praising God continually. Rejoice without ceasing. Keep your eyes single to the glory of God and bask in that glory. Praise constantly and give joyous thanksgiving. The door of death will be closed, and you will have power to step forward into the realm of eternal light. As you learn to hold your place within the realms of light, soon, very soon, your vision will be extended to encompass the spiritual realm you have entered, and its powers of fulfilling glory will be yours to use. You will automatically advance into the powers of God. As you step through the door, do not hesitate or look back. The strongest pull back into the darkness is always at the entrance or just within the door. It takes great effort and determination to close it securely behind you. It is the most easily accomplished by keeping your eyes lifted to the glory of God, to the thrilling ecstasy of the vibration, and the reality of the unfolding light, and with increasing praise and love. Step forth boldly into the light. You need not grovel, my dearly beloved one, for this is your heritage. It is waiting for you to enter, and the time is now. All that is necessary to fulfill the great divine law of believing is that you be living according to your own request or desire every moment of your life. If you do this, it must be fulfilled unto you. This is the law. Only know that in using this unfailing, irrevocable law of infinite power, if your desire is not for the good of all, or if any living soul would be injured by it, then know that it will bring your own injury and perhaps your own destruction. The law is divine and must be used according to the laws of divinity, fulfilling the eternal, universal law of love. When the Russian nation re-crucified Christ and cast God and his laws from its land and from its heart, it only shut him and his divine love and powers out from itself. When this greatest tragedy the world ever witnessed took place, one great and noble Russian lady could not join in the debauchery of divinity, and an anguished heart pleaded, "Oh, dear God, please let me know if you exist. I must know, dear God, I must know." In answer to her soul query and her intense yearning prayer, she received the answer of the Almighty as it permeated her entire being from the crown of her head to the soles of her feet and filled the air around it. "Daughter, live as though I were, and you shall know that I am." All that is required to fulfill any holy request is that you be living every moment of your life according to the desire of your soul, and the holy, unfailing law of believing will be fulfilled unto you. Know also that whatsoever you desire to be, that is pure and noble and beautiful, you will become. All that is necessary is that you live true to your desire and thought, word and act. Live true to your ideal, your request, your any desire, and you will be it. Come, step into the usage of this higher law. This is true righteousness. This is the right use of the eternal laws of the Almighty Father of glory and love and fulfillment. Beloved, come and fulfill the law of knowing and of receiving and of power. The law cannot fail. It is irrevocable, eternal, unfailing, and unpowerful. To become anything you desire, you must become. Always the invitation to be and to come is waiting for you. Your part is to be living according to your request. Know the truth, and the truth shall make you free as you live in accordance with it. Know that whatever you desire to be, you can become. Come, beloved, come. The doors of a new age, a new dispensation, and a higher realm of existence are open to you now. Come, just be and come. Come, you radiant sons of God, be your own divine selves. Come and be. Come, you glorious daughters of God, come, array yourself in the garment of holiness as you clothe yourself in light. Learn to hold out the original plan of yourself in all the glorified perfection with which God endowed it, and watch that perfection take form. It must be, for it already is. This is the you God created. It must be. Come. If you will only be living according to the deep inner anointed, it must be. Come, come. Watch the unfolding of yourself, the growth and fulfillment of yourself as you become that which you already are. This divine, glorious you is the one God created. This beautiful, breathtaking you is the one he is holding in his plan. In his will is only the yearning desire that you become it. This magnificent, glorious you is the one he created you to be. Come, fill the measure of your creation, the pattern of your own being, for this is you. The keys of your own glory are hereby placed in your hands, the keys of the millennium, the keys of the new age. These are the mysteries of eternity. I hand them over to you now. The Beatitudes are only the admonition to be that attitude of meekness, to be a peacemaker, to be any attitude whatsoever, and you will become or receive whatever law you fulfill. Believing according to your requests or desires as though you had already received, for this is how all doubts are banished, so you will never doubt in your heart, and you shall have whatsoever you saith, believing it every moment of your life, and you will not have only proved your faith of believing, you will have fulfilled the law upon which all requests are granted and fulfilled. I leave the way Christ traveled, remarked and clarified. It is unmistakable, for it is lighted by his own glory and with his divine light. In this light, the road of hope and vision becomes the glorified highway of one's own perfected fulfillment according to his plan. It is the highway paved with transparent gold at the holy feet of his advancing children tread upon it in their upward march. So I have been permitted to write, and so it is written, this record is henceforth your own. It came forth according to the will of God, for his glory and for your exaltation. God be with you, my dearly beloved, in your fulfilling, as it is, as you become. Yea, come and drink of the waters of life freely, so be it. Amen. The ancient path reclaimed. Up perpendicular ledges and towering granite cliffs, we snatched at jetting projections and clung to cloud-wrapped gifts. Souls despairing in anguish, we struggled in hopeless dismay, seeking his trail to follow as we climbed our rugged way. Never were crags so awesome, never ever a mountain so steep, nor ever a need so urgent, a rendezvous to keep. Oft with torn, bleeding bodies, we clung to some swaying ledge, or only held on blindly to some crumbling, precarious edge. We snatched at roots or gravel to feel them weigh at our touch. We asked so very little and needed that little so much. Once hurled back by a landslide, we lay bruised against a tree, while above on the top of the mountains awaited a destiny. 1,000 times we were hurled back in a broken, anguished heap, 1,000 pitfalls overcome, our rendezvous to keep. 1,000,000 hazardous testing we faced in that upward climb, 1,000,000 sobbing heartbreaks etched deep on the face of time. The top of the mountain was cloud-banked, the goal obscure, unclear. It was only a dream seen vaguely as we climbed through crags in fear. 'Twas only a vision beckoned above the dreary world, only a vision of glory that ever its promise unfurled. At last, after years of struggle, a seeming eternity, our goal loomed high above us, our rendezvous destiny. Inch by inch, slowly, soul-searching, we grappled with elements wild, exiled, cast out in discredit, like destiny's orphan child. So many times on that last cliff we were hurled to the ledge below. But somewhere along that upward climb our faith had advanced to know. Up that ledge we dug our way up the mountain so steep, up through these exiled years of life, our destiny to keep. Our strength increased with our progress, joy became mighty and strong. In danger or heart-rending setbacks, we'd lift up our hearts in song. When we finally reached the top place of our noble destined tryst, we breathed in humble, breathless awe as we kneeled at the feet of Christ. You've traveled the road I mapped for man, the way to overcome. You've learned to hear the voice of God and let his will be done. The road I left the map for, the age-dimmed, forgotten way, you have blazed anew in power more brilliant than the day. Turn and look back where you've traveled, look back where the mountain has been. There, my open highway of glory, you've rebuilt for the race of men. End of verse. End of chapter. End of book. This audio presentation of Secrets of Eternity by Annalee Skarin